first things first, my peoples comes first. Hit that follow button, hit that sub button, subscribe button, subscription button, like, comment, share. Do the thing, man. Let's build a community humbly. Let's build it one person at a time. So I've got a lot to say. I will do my best not to ramble. Um, so get comfortable, and hear me out as as we do on the Why Always Me show. And I think I might do this on all my shows, depending on how many shows I actually do a day. But today, I got to give you guys what you want. I got to give you, girls and boys, men and women, um, what you want. And of often requested, I'm now giving what the people want. And I need to stop stalling. I need to just do it already. But you see it right there on the screen. The shoe game. The shoe game. I'm going to show you what's being rocked today. I've said this before. I'm not the I'm not the fashion guy that's up with the latest trends, but I know what I like, and I've got a style that works. So hopefully, those of you that put in the request to see the shoe game are enjoying what I'm putting on screen. All right, so let's just do this real quick. Let me show you what's rocking. And viewers, let me know in the comments. Um, clip this, do whatever you need, but let me know in the comments if you happen to know what shoes I'm rocking right now. All right. Let me know. Let me know if you guys know what shoes these are right here. All right, nice and clean. Yes, the lights on them, so they're bright, but you see pristine kicks right here. Man City, Man City fans, so you know the blues got to be rocked in there. And yeah, for official day of spring was March 21st. So kicks like these are going to be getting going to be getting the sunlight that they need and deserve. Vader, Vader. All right, viewers, let's get right into it. Um, we've got an international break, so the football for international games is great, but you love and a fan of the EPL, it's just not happening for 2 weeks. So myself and others that love the game are going to find other ways to be able to talk to you, stay within the community. You know what I mean? Stay connected. So what I plan on doing is having a nice chill conversation. There's nothing too stressful right now, but I do want to talk about what's coming down the pipeline, what's happening after this international break, and for many fans, they're excited because they have a team that's actually in the mix to compete for the title race, FA Cup, Champions League. So there's a lot going down, and then those that don't have teams are obviously very interested because they're competing to try to make top four, or in some cases not being relegated. Right? I'm going to talk mainly about Man City tonight. Some rival talk, but most of the talk tonight is going to be about Man City. And what I want to emphasize right now, and you can see the topics on the screen. But first things first. Yes, my peoples come first. But I want to talk about this upcoming April and May because it's it's a time of year that Man City fans, football fans, if you happen to be Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, Crystal Palace fans, West Ham with regards to Europa, but if your team is still competing for trophies this late in the season, April and May is what it's all about. And the schedule for Man City, for April in particular, when things kick off, Burnley, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool again. It's going to be nuts. But it's a time to actually celebrate and embrace the moment because sport is about the highest level of competition, and Man City is at a stage in its history where it's competing for that greatness. It's competing for moments, historical moments. And as a fan, that's what you want. Like if as a fan, if you didn't have that when you didn't have that for the team back in the day, you have it now, right? So if you're able to see your team lift trophies and see some of your favorite players have success, you got to enjoy it. Don't and I know in this day and age, especially for like the younger fan, you can get caught up with what the rivals are saying, what's happening on socials, and some of the banter, just some of the outright disrespect that can happen versus some of the teams. But I, I just say enjoy it. I just say enjoy it. Yeah, things are going to be nerve wracking. Things are going to be tense because you definitely don't want to lose to your rivals. And if you're like me and you have really good friends, like good friends, kind of like no matter what said, you're always friends. If you have those type of friends that are relentless and that are vicious with the trash talk with regards to your team because of their rival team, um, don't who cares? It's a moment in time. It's it's what sports all about. You know what I mean? Like if you played, if you were an athlete yourself, you talk trash in a moment. You talk trash to get an edge, but when the match is over, the match is over. So I think that same approach should be taken when you're supporting or cheering for your team. And I've got a lot of close friends that are Liverpool fans, Man U fans, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans. So there's going to be no rest at all. There's going to be no rest at all for my team. Wanting the best for my team actually has me concerned, has me guessing and wondering, because as fantastic as Man City's been, the results over the years, especially with the arrival of Pep, um, he's just set the standard at the EPL to like an incredible level. The Centurion team is what kicked everything off, and I think you take time and look back to what Pep and Man City did, the arrangement of players, the creativity with regards to, you know, making do with regards to injuries and, you know, Fabian Delph at left back and, you know, dealing with company's injury at times and an aging team in a sense, but to get 100 points to set that bar at that level to then make rival teams, and in particular Liverpool and Klopp, to have to get to that level, essentially add 15 additional points to their previous year to get close to that Centurion mark to actually contest Man City, to try and prevent them from going back to back. That's the level that Pep has set, and that's the level of expectation now from rival fans that's what's going to be required to win this league. And I got to go and quickly do the math, but I think the projection for this year to win the title is in the 90s again. So the standards in the EPL are at such an incredible mark thanks to Pep. Questioning, curious to what's going to happen with regards to the month of April is what is Pep, who I like to call a mad scientist, what is he going to do with regards to the squad and the compact, almost every 3 days series of matches that are going to be going down. Talked about this on our previous show, but with Burnley, with Atletico, Liverpool, and the fact that there's the stress for maintaining the lead in the EPL with regards to playing Burnley and Liverpool. There's the stress of that, the importance of having a quality squad, a dangerous squad, and then also to have the energy reserves to be able to play at a high level again, mind you, 3 days later in some cases in the Champions League, because obviously the Champions League, winning the EPL are both expectations, they're both marks, they're both targets that Man City has placed as well as Pep. You've heard other clubs talk about prioritizing one over the other. What I absolutely love about Pep's philosophy is wanting to win everything. And where I sometimes have a conflict with regards to Pep is he wants to win everything playing his version of football. And sometimes a pragmatic approach, I'm not talking about not having attacking football, but sometimes a pragmatic approach to know that we're going to dominate ball possession, but not necessarily press as intense as we do. And that's been a thought of mine for a while. However, looking back on the last game that we played against Southampton in the FA Cup, and mind you, that game was won 4-1 when it was all said and done. But as the match played out, I actually saw that the team, I don't know if it was due to personnel, I don't know if it was because of instructions from Pep, but the team wasn't pressing as intensely as it used to, or as I'm accustomed to seeing it. And I think that was an element of Pep. Hopefully, it was Pep's instruction, that not the players themselves choosing to do this, but they weren't attacking the way they typically do defensively. So, was that in an effort to to have spend as little energy as possible to be ready for the influx of games that are coming down the pipeline? But the mad scientist that is Pep has me very, very curious to what his starting 11 will be for Burnley as well as Atletico. Um, priority in terms of like the key players to play major minutes would be for the Atletico game. So I think we are going to see a rotation for the Burnley match. But the I would assume that the players needed for the intense match versus Liverpool, some of them, I don't know how many, are aren't going to play major minutes in the Atletico match. I would love in the Atletico match for us to go up 2-0 really early and then be able to manage the game and be ready to play intense, quote unquote, heavy metal Liverpool football the following days. Pep can do anything with regards to the squad. I have no problem if the mad scientist has crazy rotation with regards to the team, the Burnley team that's going to be put out there versus the Atletico squad that he's going to put out there. I have no problem with a lot of rotation. Obviously, the results is what I want. I don't have any particular these players must play. I will, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not sure if I put these notes on screen. No, I didn't. But in future broadcasts very soon, probably next week, I'm going to do my proposed Man City starting 11. And maybe I might even take the time to look at the starting 11 that I would want versus Burnley, and then the starting 11 that I think should play against Atletico Madrid, and the starting 11 that I think should go against Liverpool. Maybe I'll do all those three matches, share my thought, my thinking. Obviously, Pep can do any and anything, any and everything. But I'll give you my approach. Um, I think Pep's going to have the variation that's needed to have fresh legs because I think it is going to be all about intensity and intensity on both ends. Offensively, I think players are going to have to be intense with regards to looking for opportunities, forcing play, forcing Atletico to make tough decisions defensively. And then in the event that Man City doesn't have possession, has lost possession, I think the intensity is going to need to be there to get the ball back and to defend. There are threats with Atletico that are going to have to be worried about as we talk about Champions League. And we definitely know that there's going to be threats with regards to how Liverpool play um, for the FA Cup. Okay, think we're gonna have to revisit this for sure. Now, we could easily come across three different approaches to play in the EPL, Champions League, and then obviously for the FA Cup. It's not, why am I saying FA Cup? It's not an FA Cup. We might come across three different styles of play for the EPL versus Burnley, Champions League versus Atletico Madrid, and then back in the EPL for Liverpool. Um, and to go from probably long ball, I'm going to generalize long ball type play with Burnley to a very defensive, deep block counter type style with Atletico to then all out full back whips, um, you know, wing runs from Mane or Diaz and Salah. Like the different style of plays are definitely are going to be evident, and then the variation or the versatility that we're going to have to see from Man City and its squad are going to be on full display, and I can't wait to see it. I'd love to see it. Um, Times when I'm not, chilling with the fam, I do occasionally get some downtime. I do play FIFA. It's got a little bit of an escape, and me and FIFA and the instructions and the formations and the squads and the players in terms of where they're positioned, I'm all for it. I love it. I love that stuff. So to see what Pep comes up with and the versatility of our players and the instructions that he gives them, I love seeing that. I love analyzing it. Um, it's like the game within the game that I really appreciate, and I can't wait to see that. It's gonna be a good watch. It's gonna be a very good watch. I think this is gonna. Do I talk about this now? Talk about it now. I so the versatility that I'm excited to see has also caused me to see some of the elements within City that I wish we had that's missing. It's no surprise if you're a City fan, if you're a rival, you may not know this, or you know this but you dismiss it. But you know, Sergio Aguero obviously left Man City. We did not get a replacement for him. Fran Torres, another promising, you know, right wing, right forward, potential potential nine, left for Barcelona and is doing his thing. Hasn't been replaced. Those are two very important positions that I see as a glaring gap within the squad right now. Pep's done his thing in terms of putting players in different positions. We obviously have Gabriel Jesus. Um, Grealish has played false nine. Foden, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling. So they've all kind of allowed for the best of a bad situation, but they aren't players true to that position, with the exception of Jesus. I think Jesus obviously has played there. He's delivered big for us, um, but I think, he's shown to actually be more proficient on the right wing, which is great in terms of squad depth. But we need a striker, and we also need some variation in height and physicality within our team. I recently tweeted, check me out on Twitter, but at Vader Games. When we were playing against Crystal Palace, it was so glaring when you looked at their starting 11 versus ours that, yes, we had the technical ability, and so did they, but there was also um, a level of physicality that we are missing, and I think it's in those key positions. I think we need that, as I quote myself, we need some techie physicality. And as we go along, I'll talk about the potential acquisitions that Man City can have, and go into depth about that. But we're missing that. Yes, we have it in the midfield, we have it defensively, but we don't have that up front. And I think that's a huge miss. It prevents us from actually having kind of like a plan C with regards to an attack. Touchy subject within my friends group and group chat group, whatever you call it. Um, a lot of people are mad. A lot of people don't want to be associated with needing to do what Arsenal has done. It's funny. So Arsenal's reset, it's clear. Clear. They've done their suffering, had their top 8 finishes in the EPL the last 2 seasons. They're projected to be top 4 this season. Them improving and teams falling off. But Arsenal and their reset will have them, it has them challenging to getting into the top 4, playing for Champions League next year. But this reset in itself makes them a threat because of what they've done, right? Young manager, young players. Looks like the trust is in the manager to occasionally fail, work things out, correct from the mistakes, move forward. But Mikel Arteta and the reset that he's done makes Arsenal a very dangerous threat for the upcoming season. And I don't think that there's anything that Man U can do other than maybe going out and buying tons of talent. But I don't think there's anything that Man U can do to challenge what Arsenal is doing and what they're projected to do. Unfortunately, I think Man U fans are going to be looking and seeing Arsenal above them in the standings definitely next year. It depends on what Man U does for following years, but I think definitely next year, I don't think there's anything they can do. And if Man U's trying to do it the right way, they actually need to clean house. And as a result of cleaning house, I think next year is their fallback year. Next year's the clean out the cupboards. You know what I mean? It's it's just that spring cleaning where you just clear everything, get all the junk, all the clutter, get everything out, start fresh. That's what Man U's got to do, and because of that, they are looking at another year of being lower than Arsenal. And I know Arsenal fans are going to love that up. They're going to let Man U fans have it, because obviously Man U fans let Arsenal fans have it for a long time. So going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to observe. But Arsenal's reset has made them a serious threat, and it's also made them put them in a position to be challenging for some of those majors ahead of Man U. Man U season is done, over with, kaput's, crushed. Did I say dead? It's over. And those aren't my words. The fact that the season's over, that's actually words from Paul Pogba. Like he said, the season's dead. There's obviously nothing they can play for. Um, what Man United's trophy this year, what Man U's trophy needs to be, what they need to be looking at, what their fans need to make is like, if we do this, this is a successful season, will be acquiring the manager of their future. On another show, I'll talk about how no manager is going to succeed at Man U. Like that's a different story. Um, but Man U, Manchester United, they need to make sure that their big win of the year, the thing that they're going to be bragging about and most proud of, needs to be their manager. Who that is, I don't know, man. Ten Hag, Pochettino. I don't know who the manager is, but whoever it is, and let's be real. Man U, huge club, tremendous club, fan base enormous. You're never going to get their entire fan base to agree. Okay, that's a reality. But whoever they get, whether it's Pochettino, whether it's Ten Hag, whoever it is, that will be their trophy for the year. That will be, yes, this year was a success. Yes, they're out of the top four potentially, no trophies, but they can walk around with a big chest knowing that they got the manager take them to the future. Now that manager needs to do what Arsenal's done, right? Man U fans aren't going to want to hear it, but that manager needs to be able to be given the trust, the keys, the loyalty, the the undevoted respect to do what he wants to do. Whether Man U fans are going to allow that to happen, I don't know. But that's what needs to happen if they're looking to get to the level of where Arsenal is this year. I'm going to have to take some bumps. I have to take some. So, you know me. I got to speak my mind. Um, I got to tell you, I just got to tell you some of my thoughts. And the big bold comment for this show evolves around player acquisitions. It's going to revolve around the transfer window. And right now, this is all ifs, right? Because nothing's for sure. I'm going to talk in future shows about how the summer transfer is going to be an arms race. Like, I'm not sure if you've paid attention or if you've seen, but many players are actually winding down their contracts. So, they're not obligated to have to be transferred to move on. Contracts just run out, so teams can just pick them up. And there's a ridiculous list of talent that's out there for players that could be on the move next year. So it's going to be a tremendous arms race next year. And I pay most attention to Man City and my rivals, but in this case, I'm going to talk about Man City. And Two ifs. If Man City get Erling Haaland, and if Pep signs an extension, okay? I know, two big ifs. Two big ifs. If those two things happen, if Pep signs a contract extension, we get Erling Haaland. Man City will deliver the perfect season that a fan can ask for. Let me say that again, and I'm saying it very tightly for impact, I guess. But that's how serious this is. So, Man City fans, close your eyes. Rivals, close your eyes. No, trust me. Man City fans, close your eyes. Rivals, close your eyes. Think of what was the perfect season that your team managed to deliver, whatever that is. Okay? So your eyes are closed. You're thinking about the perfect season that your team has delivered for you. Okay? Man City and Pep will match or exceed that. All right? Man City and Pep will match or exceed the perfect season that you've had as a fan. I know I presented two big ifs. And the reason why they're two big ifs is because of the two big ifs with regards to what can happen in the future. I honestly believe, and that's what's got me so excited. That's actually what has me ignoring some of the rumors right now, because I just want the Haaland acquisition to happen. I want the Pep extension to happen. And when it does, it'll allow me to then believe that I will be experiencing the perfect season that I can have as a fan. So that's the big bold comment for this show. You know, friends, you guys know I gotta give you one every show. You know, hashtag BBC. Got to give you one every show. So don't let that idea, don't let that daydream just be ignored. I think it's something that really should be considered. I think there's no manager out there that thinks of perfection like that. There really isn't. Like, there's obviously managers that want to win, but someone that obsesses on perfect play from keeper to defensive line to midfield to striking positions and like perfect exchanges, perfect mentality, ideology, that's Pep. And with what Pep was able to do with Aguero, as fantastic as Aguero was, Pep didn't have Aguero at his peak. And Erling Haaland's not going to be in his peak, but he's a true 9, right? And he's young, he's raw, he can be molded. So maybe, obviously not year one. Don't go crazy on me. Don't. Vader, you said Erling Haaland and Pep, perfect season. Year one, they don't do it. Okay. But what I talked about was expect all of that, including the rest of the Man City players, which are key, them as a whole, from week one to the final week, they will deliver the perfect season. Close your eyes. Think about what the perfect season is for you, rival fans. Think what the perfect season is for you, City fans. Whatever that is, Pep, Man City will match it or exceed it. Definitely mention this on Twitter. So many fans, you guys are gonna think that I'm bantering you. I'm not. Um, being very serious because I've very good friends, very close friends that are Man U fans, and I kind of told them this, but I thought that they couldn't battle on two fronts. I didn't think that they could properly compete for top four and the Champions League. And realistically, um, let's for whatever reason or what may have happened for them to get to the Champions League final and happen to win the final. Let's say they were to do it. I think it'd be a similar case, and not and to a lesser extent, um, a bad result. I think it would have continued to prolong the reset that needs to happen for Manchester United, the purge that needs to happen for Manchester United, um, because it just would have covered up the cracks, similar to what happened with Chelsea, right? So Chelsea, fantastic run, did their thing, won 1-0 over Man City in the Champions League, but obviously that team couldn't properly contest in the EPL, and if Man U, for some fantastic reason, were able to win Champions League, again, it would cover up the cracks on the reset, the purge that needs to happen for them. Like, a lot of things need to change for Man U, and them actually being out of Champions League is very important because one, I never thought that they would get so far to win the Champions League, but two, I think it would have been a very bad distraction. It would have prevented them from putting all their focus into being top four, which is very important. It's very important for their owners, in particular, and the legend, the living legend that he is, Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7. He doesn't have the legs. He doesn't have the legs to be playing in the Champions League and in the EPL. And if you're going to prioritize, he's got to be in the EPL to deliver Man U in the top four. So them exiting out, I don't think it's as bad as it may seem. I think the glory hunters, the ones that don't understand the limitations and what's preventing Man U from having success, aren't going to see the silver lining or the pot at the end of the rainbow. But it's a good thing that Man U's out. Good thing that Man U's out of the Champions League. I know Man U fans aren't going to want to hear that. They're definitely not going to want to hear it. But it is the best thing for them. One last thing, and I want to talk about some of the issues with regards to player contracts or player transfers. Rival fans, even pundits, will use transfer fees as a reason to set expectations on players. Maybe it's because I'm old school. Maybe it's because I just have a different perspective. You know, title of the show, Why Always Me? Why Always Me? I always have like a sense, I tend to have a different take on things. But record transfer fee or transfer fees really has nothing to do with the expectations of a player with regards to the rest of the league. So if it happens to be, in this case, I'm going to talk about Jack Grealish. Um, I could easily talk about Harry Maguire. We talk about um, Romelu Lukaku. Like, I could talk about Nicolas Pepe. There's there's some transfers out there that obviously for team that has player to relinquish player, here's the price, here's the transfer fee. Here's what they value the player leaving their club, or sometimes these transfer fees are a reflection of here's what the club that wants to get them are willing to pay to get them under their wing, to get them prepared, get them set for future successes. I see a lot of people killing Lukaku, killing Grealish, definitely killing Maguire, and they killed Pepe heavy for what it cost the club. I'm going to be first to say no player is no player is worth 100 million with regards to what you can now expect from them on the field. Because think about it. Some of the past greats that we've had, if you were to crunch the numbers, calculate inflation, whatever it may be, what they've delivered for us, I would be very surprised if it netted out to be equal to 100 million, 98 million, 72 million, 80 million, 85 million, whatever it may be for some of these players. So I get it. It's banter. It's what's going to happen with amongst rival fans. But the evaluation of a player needs to be seen with what they're contributing to the team. And Pep's talked about this. We've all talked about this. Sometimes, and if you've played sports, you know this. If you've played sports, you know this. Sometimes what you do really doesn't end up in the stat sheet. So, so when you're killing rival fans for the transfer fees, um, I get it. But what's most important is whether that player contributes to the success of the team that they're on. Now, if the player is on the field making mistakes, dangerous errors, early early subs, being subbed off the field pretty early, I think you have a real argument there. But if a player is, playing their way through or trusted to play an entire game or trusted to play almost 80 minutes or 75 minutes of that game, you may need to look at things differently. You may have to evolve how you look at the game, how you look at football. All right. I know that's coming across a little preachy, but and maybe it's just me having my backup because I've got to defend Jack Grealish so much. But I'm really just buying my time. You know what I mean? I'm just buying my time because I know year 2 with City and Pep, Grealish is going to be showing you why we needed him. The same way Pep did it with Cancelo. Cancelo needed a year. You need to know exactly what Pep expected from him, and obviously Pep needed to get the trust and have Cancelo gain that trust. But year two is when Grealish is going to be unleashed. All right, viewers, I hope you enjoyed the show. I've got to ask, like always, first things first. First things first, my peoples come first. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Be a part of the community, help grow this. You can definitely you can contribute on Twitch when this gets posted on Twitter. When this gets posted on YouTube, drop some comments as well. Always appreciated. And we're going to grow this one at a time. I'm going to quickly take a look at these comments before I sign off. I see Edison. Edison's in the building. What a do, my dude. What a do. Good to see you. Hope you've been well. You guys should see me before I do that. Vader Games. All right. I'm Vader Games. Catch me on the next broadcast. Much love. Always appreciate the support. And we're out.